Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Meaningful Monday for the month of September. So I find this year's gone pretty quickly. Last year I found went quickly, slowly, but more slowly than quickly, but this one's been just quickly. All right, so just welcome to everyone who's been here before. That's welcome back to all of you. Thank you so much for coming back. I love you guys. I appreciate you coming back. And then for any new people, I just want to say very warm welcome. Thank you for joining Meaningful Monday. So just to quickly frame it up in a simple way, Meaningful Monday is just a free webinar that I do on the first Monday of every month, and it's just on any meaningful topic whatsoever. The purpose for the Meaningful Monday is just to really raise awareness to help us understand that we do create our own reality, and our experience of this life, regardless of circumstances and appearances, is really ourselves. And some people find that hard to accept, including myself years ago, especially when times are difficult. It's easy to say that when times are good, we'd love to take the credit for when times are good, that we created that. But when we're not having such a good time or we're struggling with a situation in our life, then we tend to think it's happening to us. Well, things may happen and situations may be, but the one thing that we absolutely have control over is our own mind and our own attitude. And even Viktor Frankl from the concentration camps, who wrote the wonderful book, A Man's Search for Meaning, even he said, I'm just going to mute the mics. There's just some sound there. You're welcome to unmute at any time. Even Viktor Frankl said the last of human freedoms, that's what he called a person's attitude, the last of human freedoms, that is our attitude, which we do choose to have in any condition or circumstances. Now, what I want to share with you tonight is something a little bit different to what I've usually shared. Everything else has been quite, if I can say, easy to reach for, easy to grasp in terms of understanding. I'm going to share some concepts or things tonight which might be a little bit out there for some people. I know this that I'm talking about, when I read it for the first time, it may be a while ago, it doesn't matter. But when I first read about it, it did also get me thinking and questioning a lot of things. So I'll try and keep the cookies on the bottom shelf, that I don't speak in a strange way. But if you don't understand anything, please stop me as we go along. All right, so I'm going to share with you 2 techniques that you can use that absolutely release negativity instantly. All you need to do is practice them. And even myself, I'm a Silver Method trainer. For those of you who know the Silver Method, great. For those of you who don't know the Silver Method is a 4-day dynamic meditation program that I train. Even as a Silver Method person who's practiced it, techniques to manage and reduce stress and things like that, and even as a trainer, I found this that I'm sharing here tonight is different, and it is so simple and so effective, and yet even myself never actually used to practice this until I got the awareness from reading it in a book, and the book was a book by Rhonda Byrne. So the book's title is called The Greatest Secret. So I'm going to share this from the book tonight, and I hope it helps you in your life. So I'm going to start off a little bit off the topic initially, just to get us there. So let's just ask this, and I would like you guys just to put in the chat box or open your microphones and answer me. Feel free to interact. It says here, it isn't the way it appears to be. You aren't what you think you are. So then, what is it that we think we are? Or what is it that we really are? Who can answer this far-out question? And that's a bit of a strange thing to say, but who do we think that we are? Anyone? Type it in the chat box, unmute your mic. Tell me what is the truth of who we really are, or what we really are, and who do we think we are? Okay, someone's been brave enough to put something in the chat box. A spiritual being. Yes, perfect. We are first and foremost spiritual beings, and we are here having a temporary human experience. Okay, is someone else joining? So, spirit's having a human experience. Thank you, Claire. Right. So of all the billions of people on our planet, only a few have discovered the truth. Now it says here, I've just written some notes. Those few are completely free from the turmoil and negativity of life and live in permanent peace and happiness. For the rest of us, whether we realize it or not, we have been in search of this truth unceasingly every single day of our lives. So there, Shail says, a happy soul. Shail, thank you for putting the word happy before the word soul. So if we are truly spiritual beings, and first and foremost, a spiritual being, a soul, whatever name you want to call it, Shail wrote there, a happy soul. The truth is, our true nature is one of happiness. It is one of love. It is one of joy. Can you repeat the last part? Okay. I'm not too sure what the last part is, but I'll just read the quote again. Charmaine, you are what you think you are. Thoughts have energy. Absolutely. Now, I'll just repeat it. Of all the billions of people on the planet, only a few have discovered the truth. Those few are completely free of turmoil and negativity of life and live in permanent peace and happiness. For the rest of us, whether we realize it or not, we've been in search of this truth unceasingly every single day of our lives. So when we say a happy soul, if we can come to realize that that part of us, that spiritual essence, which is the most of you, and if you think of yourself as a tiny newborn baby, before your mind was conditioned and before you got your personality, you were still this beautiful spiritual being or awareness. And that, as Shail said, is happy. A state is pure happiness. So when we are in a state of negativity, it's the mind that is thinking thoughts that are negative and causing the experience that we're having, which is an emotion, to be that of negativity. So if we can learn what I'm going to share with you tonight, to release the negativity of the thoughts, we will automatically, by default, come back into our natural state, which is that of happiness. Does this that I've said so far make sense? Otherwise, I'm going to lose you guys as I go further. So I just want to say that if I got you on the first page, we can continue. So thumbs up there if you're still with me. All right, great. Thank you, Blondine and Caroline. You're my guides here. Okay, so my life is going great, isn't it? Just think about that. Is your life going great? Is it really? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You may disagree. I don't know. So I personally didn't think that my life was a mess or that my life wasn't going great either. However, I just want to ask you these questions. Do you ever get upset? Do you ever get stressed? Do you ever worry? Do you ever feel anxious? Do you sometimes get offended or hurt? Do you sometimes feel sad or down in the dumps or despondent? Are you ever unhappy or perhaps in a bad mood? So if you experience any of these emotions at any time, then according to this person named Anthony DeMello, he says your life is a mess. Now, I don't think it means that your life is a mess, but I think it is true that we do all experience stress. We do all get upset and hurt from time to time. And there is an opportunity for us to take that very experience and grow from it and instantly release the negativity, which I'll share with you, as opposed to holding on to the negativity with thought patterns, which is just a habitual thing. And when we are in our thought patterns, what happens is we're then going to a state that is not in the present. It's a state of being either worrying about the future or ruminating over the past, thinking or worrying. So we could say, hold on, isn't it normal to be plagued by negative emotions throughout the day? Well, some people think it is normal to be plagued by negative emotions throughout the day. However, just to tell you the truth, that's not the way life is supposed to be. If you go back to that very first question I had, and Shail said, we are happy souls. We are meant to be happy. So if I told you that you could live your life free of hurt, of upset, of worry, of fear, and you could actually be happy, I'm not going to say all the time, because that's not going to be realistic, but most of the time. And when anything happens in our lives that's not happy, we will have a way to release it straight away. And in that same process of releasing, which is really instantaneous, when I share this with you, it is so simple, you also grow. Because growth is when we release hurt or negative emotion. When we hold on to it, we're not growing. We keep ourselves stuck. Okay? So let's talk about suffering. If I look at these reasons, like for our suffering, could be limiting beliefs or outside influences or being confused or just being ignorant, not knowing or understanding enough, or having some false concepts, false ideas or opinions or beliefs about something. So whenever we suffer, it's actually because we've believed something about ourselves that isn't true. Because we go back to the first question, who are you truly? You're truly what? If we are a spiritual being first and foremost, can anyone type in the chat box, what is our true nature? What is our true nature? Is one of what? One of what kind of state? And Donna wrote here, all darkness has value and opportunity to grow. Yes. Purity, happiness, learning. When I say, what is our true nature? Think of a newborn baby. What is the thing it evokes from people? Just look at a newborn baby. You don't even know the baby. You feel love. Why? What do they embody? That's our spiritual essence. One with God or spirit. Lovely, Christine. Purity, yes. What else? To evolve as a high state, joy and purity. Our true nature. If we come to know our true nature is innocence. Yes, I'm looking for something else. Love. There we go. Our true nature is pure, unconditional love. Now, we are conditioned otherwise, but our true nature doesn't change. Our soul nature, our spiritual nature, our true selves is actually one of unconditional love. So when we suffer, it's because we've believed something about ourselves that isn't true. We've somehow mistaken our own identity. This is when we get suffering. So all of humanity's suffering comes down to a case of mistaken identity. The truth is actually that you're not a person who has no control over what happens around you and your life. And you're also not a person who has to slave away perhaps at a job that you don't like. You're also not a person who has to struggle in any way in your life, or you're not a person who has to struggle maybe financially from paycheck to paycheck. You're also not a person who has to prove anything about yourself and who you are to the world, or anyone who needs someone else's approval. Well, the truth is you really are not, if I say this is going to sound strange, just bear with me and stay with me. You're not actually a person at all. You are having the experience of being a person. But in the bigger picture, it's not who you or your true nature really is. Your true nature is the one of a spiritual essence, a spiritual being, pure happiness and pure unconditional love. You're not actually a person. And this is the biggest realization, and the one of the messages of tonight's Meaningful Monday is to say this. And I remember years ago when I first heard this, was from Mike Dooley, and I thought it was a bit strange. And as I've come to think about it more and more, I realize it's true. We're not actually a person, and we know this. We're not a human being having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So when we can just hold that understanding for a second, a lot of peace can come into your awareness. So let me just change the slide. The real you is infinitely glorious, whole, perfect, and in total peace. And you are binding yourself to this, meaning any form of suffering, by assuming that you are limited ego. Because the term ego, if you look at psychology, is also called the imagined self. It's got many names. The imagined self, the pretend self, the separate self, because the ego sees yourself separately to other people, separately to a higher power. It's also called the psychological self. And we also know that teachers or sages or gurus have always given us that name of our mistaken identity, our ego. So these descriptions refer to the body and the mind, so the mind with all these thoughts, which together make up this thing that we say, I am this person, I'm this name, this is my role, this is my job, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a accountant, whatever trade you're in, whatever it is. And we label ourselves and say, this is us. Well, that's actually a mistaken identity. It's the ego. It makes me separate from you. I'm competing when I'm in this state of mind. But really, truly, we are spiritual beings and we're all actually one. We are one with all in this entire universe. We're actually one with each other. We are actually all connected on an energetic and spiritual level. So when we ask ourselves, who am I? Just know that your thoughts and your feelings and your sensations and your beliefs work together to convince you that you're actually this person. But a person is much more limited and small than who you truly are, because your true nature is one of unlimited potential, enormous power, so much more than what our conditioned minds can sometimes give us the illusion that we're just this limited person and we are in a role, and it's just this small little ego mind that we think we are, whereas we are, nothing can be further from the truth. We are much, much more than that. So when I talk about this as limited beings, I'm saying that we have thoughts in our head that are not true. Things that I'm not good enough, that I can't do this, that I don't have enough, or I am not enough, I'm not smart enough, or I'm getting older, I'm too tired. These are just thoughts. So everything about a person, as in the person, human person, the mind person, is the very opposite of who you really, really are. The person, the conditioned mind, is imperfect. But you, as your spiritual selves, is actually perfect and unlimited and very, very powerful. And it's the person that's temporary or limited. But the real you is not temporary. It's a permanent, infinite, and unlimited being. So one other way that you can think about, just ask yourself the question, can I imagine not existing? And it's actually a hard thing. We can actually find it difficult. We can't actually imagine not existing because we are infinite beings. So nothing is real but now. So if you think about this, you probably heard someone like Eckhart Tolle. He wrote a book called The Power of Now. This is really important. If you became really, really aware of the now, right now, you would find that if you just focused on this very present moment, a lot of things that we worry about, have been in our mind and consumed us, actually don't quite occupy us if we are very present and mindful in the now. And when it says the now is enough, if you just became present, just try and do it now. Think, I'm here. What am I feeling? I'm sitting on a chair, the temperature of the room. I'm listening so you can hear. You're watching the webinar. In the very now, this state is permanent. It's like a permanent state of now. And if we can get present in the now, this is where all peace comes. When people, that whole book of Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now is really about finding that state of peace, getting out of our ego mind, all the thoughts, all the worries, and just being present in the now. So as I've mentioned this and frame this up, this is where I'm going to get closer to now how you release negativity. I'm going to ask you this simple question and just experience it. Don't answer this question with words. Just experience the answer. I'm going to answer the question. Are you aware? Right now, are you aware? Wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, just look around the room, look up, and just ask yourself, am I aware? And as you ask that question, I want you just to become aware of any three things. Write them down. Just three things. What are you aware of? One of them could be something you see. One of them could be something you hear. Another one could be something you feel. So I'm aware of the chair under my bottom, sitting on it. I'm aware of the sound of the fountain. There's a cat fountain outside the room. and I'm aware of whatever I'm seeing in front of me, the laptop, the desk. So when you say I'm aware, you can actually ask yourself, I'm going to pause now and ask yourself the question, am I aware? And as you just become aware, just notice that your 5 senses can operate. So you can see, you can hear, you can feel, but you actually don't have to have any thought in your head. You don't have to answer the question with any words or thoughts. You can just be aware. Now, please, I want to ask you, I'm going to just turn this off for a second so I can see all of you. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you're able to do that? If you can say, am I aware? And just hold it. See if you can hold awareness for 15 seconds. I'm going to go for it. Just see if you can just say, I'm aware. As if you're an animal in the bush, alert, trying to hear and see if there's anything around you. Just that feeling of awareness. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Tell me if you can hold awareness just for 15 seconds only. And just keep, if a thought comes, just say, am I aware? Let's go. Okay, who here was able to do that? Just raise your hand or your thumb. Okay, for 15 seconds with no thoughts. When I say none at all, just being able to hold awareness, you could do that? That's pretty good, okay? 15 seconds. The longer you can practice, Biljana, well done. The more you can practice this and extend that time, the better. I know this sounds bizarre, but I did Vipassana, 10-day silent meditation retreat. It took 4 days for the majority of 120 people to be able to do that for 60 seconds. So when I say aware, it means that there's no thought, not even, oh, I can do that. That's a thought. So if you're doing it and you think, oh, I'm actually doing it quite long now, that's already a thought. So just to say, am I aware? So let's just go back now to the presentation. Does you understand what I was alluding to? Okay. So let me just go back here. The truth is, in your life, you've always been aware. You've been aware of all the stages of your life, everything that you've ever gone through. And awareness is and has been the only constant in your life. Everything else has changed. Your body has changed. You've got a completely new body. Did you know that every single cell is completely new than the body you had as a child? And some parts of our body, like our skin, change itself, some in a few minutes, some in days, some in hours, some in weeks, but definitely from the body as a child, that body doesn't even exist anymore. Every cell has been replaced. So everything in you has changed except by one thing, and that one thing is your awareness. Your mind even keeps changing. There's no doubt. I mean, I must think about the mind I had when I was 20. It was very different. Sure, I've got some things that are the same, but for the most part, we can change our mind. Our feelings change. They can even change many times in 1 hour, let alone in a lifetime. Sensations change. Everything keeps changing. But the one thing that's never changed in you is your awareness. And that awareness is actually who you truly are. And when you come to say, well, this soul version of me or the spiritual version of me, this awareness part of me versus my person or personality, you know that it's true. And how do you know this? Because you can even be aware of your thoughts. So if you're sitting thinking about something that worries you, if you think right now, just bring up a thought of something that you've been worried about. As you think it, you can actually be aware that you're thinking that worried thought. Well, then I ask you, then who's the awareness? Well, that awareness is who you really are. That's your true self. Or another word for it is consciousness. You are consciousness or you are awareness. It's the same thing. So you are the awareness that is aware of everything. So awareness is what is aware of every single experience that you have. It's not the mind or the body that's aware of your life. You're the awareness that you are. So you're actually aware of your mind, of your thinking. You're also aware of your body. If your body's in pain, you're aware of the pain. So you're not the pain, you're aware of the pain. And anything that you are aware of cannot be you because you're aware of it, if that makes sense. So our awareness that we exist is what we truly are, not the mind, not the body. So just for a moment, imagine that you have no body. Imagine that you didn't have a body just for a second. So take away your body, you're still awareness. Take away your mind, have no thoughts, you're still awareness. That's what we did there for 15 seconds. You could take away everything, your name, your whole life story, your entire past. If you could just wipe it out, you would still have awareness. No memories whatsoever, no beliefs or any form of thought. So what's left is simply consciousness or awareness. Now, your mind appears only when you have a thought. So think about that. Your mind only comes to the forefront and appears when you have a thought. You could have no thought and remain in awareness. Now, this sounds like I'm going on about the same topic. Please just bear with me. When we get to these two techniques, this will make so much sense, and you will really be able to just practice it immediately. So, awareness never disappears and appears. Awareness is always present. Sometimes we're not aware of our awareness when we're caught up in our thoughts in my mind and we're full of worry. The minute we can say, oh, watch my mind worrying here, you're back to the now, the focus, and your awareness. So when you ask yourself the question, am I aware? Immediately awareness is noticed. So now you have awareness. And this is what I'm going to ask you to hold as an understanding in your mind as we now go forward. And this awareness doesn't just appear, it's always been there, okay? Now, the other thing, which I'm going to explain how we get rid of negativity in two simple steps, is instead of looking in your life outward for happiness, which we've all done, I've done it countless times, I don't know, infinite number of times in my life, looking for happiness in the world outside of me, trying to do this or do that for happiness. The truth is, the happiness that we want, if we need to turn inward, we need to look inward. And when we practice awareness, as I said, and we stop our thoughts, your natural nature and default setting is actually happiness. We may not believe that sometimes if we are so practiced in worried or negative thinking, or had a long, prolonged period of sadness or loss or grief or frustration or anger, resentment, whatever the negative emotion may be, and we think, oh, that's not really true, that you could just be happy. Well, the truth is our nature is happiness. So when we learn to practice more awareness, and the two tips I'm going to give you now, you will default into a state of happiness. And that's why I say, instead of looking outward to the world for happiness, we need to turn and look inward. It's only in that direction that we will find everything we're looking for, everything. And I'll go back to the story of Viktor Frankl in the concentration camps, that we are in control of our mind. And if we can learn to, just with this practice I'm going to share with you, manage our peace and happiness regardless of conditions or circumstances in our life. This says there's nothing out there but our consciousness. There's only one consciousness and we're it. And it's true, there is only one universal consciousness, and we all are part of that one consciousness, the same as a wave is part of the ocean, or a drop of water is a part of the ocean, or one snowflake is part of a whole lot of fallen snow. We are part of one consciousness. That's why intuition is a real thing. That's why telepathy is a real thing. That's why you can feel energy. If someone's not in a good space, you can feel that feeling, because we really are connected into one consciousness. When we are in our ego mind, we think we're separate from the world. And this is the biggest illusion of all, is that we have this feeling or this illusion of separateness. Okay, so here's awareness number one, the first practice. Now, I'm just letting you know, this I speak from experience. I've taken this, I've practiced this for a couple of months, all circumstances, and this absolutely works. So the first thing is, like we did earlier when I said take 15 seconds, just ask yourself the question, am I aware? Now, don't try and answer the question with your mind. Don't try and find words or explanations like, yes, I am aware, nothing. Don't try and answer the question, because thoughts can't help you experience awareness. You want to experience it. So we say, am I aware? And each time you ask the question, your attention will be taken away from your thinking and away from the mind and all its thoughts and put onto awareness. And awareness is silent. It's peace. It's just focus. And then when you are aware, if a thought comes, just go back to the same question again. Am I aware? And just ask it again and again. Now, the more you ask the question and practice, like I did for 15 seconds, the longer you'll be able to remain in awareness. And you may even want to practice this, even if you just practice it seriously for 3 times a day for 1 minute. That's all. Just try that and see how you go. The more you can practice that, the more aware you become of how much of the time we are not aware. And we are completely consumed in a worry of the future and a regret or some concern of the past and ruminating. The more you can practice staying in awareness, if you just did it like a meditation, not trying to focus on anything, not even breathing, you'll find this state of happiness really starts to just almost rise in you, or just everything just dissolves into this very wonderful, peaceful state. Now, the more you ask the question, the longer you'll remain as awareness, and the quieter your thought and mind will become. And just try and shift your awareness through the day and see how often you can come to think of awareness. You can also practice you can find something in your awareness if you want that you can practice focusing on and put your attention on that. A nice one to do is a candle. You can stare at a candle. It's almost hypnotic. You can just focus on it and realize that if you stare at it and focus on it with awareness, you don't have any thoughts. So it's another form of meditation, for example. Or you can do it with a sound. I can sit, I know this sounds a bit strange, and stare at my kitty's water fountain because I can hear it. And all I do is focus on that and nothing else and see how long I can go. And the longer I go, the more I'm practicing awareness, which is what I'm recommending here. Then, as you focus on something, open your attention wider and wider and wider with awareness, like you're opening the lens of a camera. And see if you can take into your view more and more, right up until the widest form of your peripheral vision. And hold that awareness without focusing on anything in particular, and see if you can do that. Let's just do it now. I'm going to just give you 10 seconds. Just say, am I aware? Look at anything you want and notice wider and wider everything in the room. Start. Okay, that was just 10 seconds. If you could go with that a bit longer and a bit longer and a bit longer and start to actually relax in that state, you'll find an enormous amount of peace. You can lose everything else, but you can never lose the awareness that you are. I love that. Okay, then the next thing is understanding the power of our feelings. So happiness is, as I said, your natural state. If you don't feel happy right now, or you didn't feel happy today, the only thing that's causing that is a negative emotion. And I'm now going to explain how you release negative emotion in an instant. And all you need to do is practice awareness. Awareness is what we've just done. Then there's this also the awareness of, hey, am I having a negative emotion right now? So whenever you are not happy, just to have the awareness that you're actually not happy. That's the first step. I know it sounds like it's really easy. It's not. So many people go on not only for hours, but for days, months, weeks. Some people even go on for years, having some form of ongoing negative emotion without the awareness that it's an emotion, which is caused by thoughts, and thoughts cause feelings, and feelings cause thoughts, and so on it goes. So the first thing we need to do is get in touch with our own negative feelings and awareness of them, because many people are not aware of them. Many people are not even aware that they're depressed. I may say that. So the first thing is awareness of your negative thought. What are negative feelings, like gloominess, or just being in a bad mood, or having some form of self-rejection or guilt? Or sometimes we have a feeling that life is pointless, which is really a terrible thought, or that nothing is making sense right now, or we get fatigued maybe from extensive lockdown, if you are in lockdown. So just getting in touch with these feelings that we're not feeling really happy. Now, don't worry too much about what negative feeling it is. Just know that it isn't a happy feeling. And then the awareness that this negative feeling is the reason that's holding you back from feeling happiness. So now, this is where we come to the interesting part. With awareness, like we practiced, now we're talking about, we're aware now we have negative feelings. Now I want you just to be aware, if you have a negative feeling, just be aware of the negative feeling without resisting it or without expressing it, and also without judging it. So if you're making notes, you want to be aware of your negative feelings without resisting, expressing, or judging that negative thought. So just recognize you have that feeling and don't attempt to change it. I'll say that again. As counter-effective it may sound, or counterintuitive it may sound, don't attempt to change the feeling. When you stop wanting to get rid of the negative feeling, you actually stop resisting it. And when you stop resisting negativity, it must release and dissipate. So negative feelings are always, let me say, the cause of us resisting something. I don't want this, so I'm angry. I don't want this, so I'm frustrated. I don't want this, so I'm grieved. I don't want this, so I'm whatever it may be, guilty, resentful, frustrated, any negative emotion. So the first tip I gave you tonight, there's 2 tips for releasing negative. The first one is awareness. Now the second one is this one. It's called welcoming. And the person who came up with this word that I know of is a lady called Frances Lucille. This word welcoming. So welcoming is the opposite of resisting. So resistance says to any negative feeling, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. Welcoming, on the other hand, says, yes, you too are welcome here. Even this negative feeling, whatever it may be, you are welcome here too. So it's welcoming. Now, awareness, if you just take pure awareness, which you practiced earlier for 15 seconds, awareness is always welcoming of everything. It's got no thought, no resistance. It just takes in. So awareness is always welcoming. So no negative feeling, no matter how strong, can stand up against the welcoming of awareness. And I'm sharing this with you from practice, not from theory. When I learned this and tried to practice it, I gave it a shot on everything that happened. And if you've ever been triggered, you will know how difficult it is in the moment that you're triggered to not feel negative emotion. So it depends what causes you to be triggered. We all have different things that trigger us. Some people dislike being disrespected. Some people like not being validated. Those are 2 often that really trigger people. So, or someone just being blatantly rude to you for no rhyme or reason, that would trigger some negative emotion. In that very moment, I've tried this welcoming technique and it absolutely works. You just stand there, you're aware instantly that you've got this negative emotion, and you just say to yourself, this too is welcome here. You just say, this too is welcome here. You are also welcome here. Now, this may seem counterintuitive to welcome something that you actually don't want, but the truth is that it's resistance that holds what you don't want to you. As much as you resist, you're actually causing the negativity to perpetuate. There's that old saying that says, what you resist persists. Welcoming stops you from resisting. So the negativity can't remain. It cannot remain because you're not resisting it. So there's no energy charge there. It has to just dissipate. And the truth is it dissipates really quickly. In 30 seconds, I found at the most a minute, but generally 30 seconds it will have released. So it's almost like a miraculous dissipation of negative energy in the instant. Let me just change the slide. All right, so when I talk about the super practice, it's these two things: welcoming anything negative and then stay as awareness. These are two vital practices. So if you're making notes, please write these down. So let's just go over this. Step 1, you first become aware that you're having negative emotion. Whoops, someone's trying to come in. Okay, I don't know where that went. So have awareness. Then welcome anything negative. Open your heart and welcome negative reactions, negative feelings, negative sensations, negative emotions, thoughts, even problems that come into your mind in the moment, whatever appears. Just welcome that. Now, what I actually did was this, and I recommend that you try it. When this thing that happens, even if it's a terrible, bad news that you've just been given, as you're aware this is negative, you actually open your arms. You can't see me because I'm too close to the camera. You actually open your arms. I do. Open your arms out wide. I close my eyes, and I go like this, and I say, this too is welcome here. I welcome this, as if you're putting your arms around something that you love. And I say the words, you're welcome here, even you two are welcome here, with love. I say with love. And as I hold that thing, don't try and get rid of it. Even an angry person who's triggering you, in your mind, if they're not there, let's say they're not in the room, you put your arms around and say, even you two are welcome here. This situation is welcome here. It literally just dissolves. So when we open our arms, it's a natural thing for the body, as like body language. If you open, you are welcoming and you are opening your heart. When you open your arms, you actually open your heart, because we know when our heart is closed, we are contracted and our energy is contracted and our body's the same. Then once you've done that, you just stay as awareness. And by keeping your attention wide, as I said, just be aware, having no thought, keep your attention wide like the lens on a camera. So don't focus on any particular detail. And a way to stay in awareness is to love awareness. Just love awareness and hold with welcoming this thing that's happening, and just hold that. And simply by loving awareness, you're giving your full attention to it. And in that moment, you'll find these negative feelings just go. So that's it, the welcoming and staying in awareness. Now, the big, big benefit of this practice is huge. I don't know if you've heard this before, but they've proven in psychology, we file our memories in feeling tones. We don't file our memories in categories. We don't say all my holiday memories are there, all my work memories are there. No, it goes like this. All my angry memories are filed in feeling tones of anger, frustrations, all filed in. So what you find is when a person has a negative emotion come up, let's say it's anger, you will just find another thing to get angry and another thing and another thing. And if it's about a particular person, you'll find every memory or feeling that you had with them throughout the time that you've known them can almost bring up that anger more and more. So in your life, if you've ever suppressed feelings, especially negative ones, we've stored these. They haven't gone anywhere. When you practice this, welcoming and then staying in awareness, as the emotion that's negative right now dissolves, did you know it takes with it hundreds, if not thousands, of the same feeling memory tones and dissolves them too? So the more you practice this super practice, the more you actually release trapped emotions, no matter how old they are. And you will find through practice, you will get less and less triggered by anything. And negative emotion is not a bad thing, by the way. It must come up. It happens. As long as it comes up with awareness and that we don't try to suppress it, we do the opposite. We welcome it in and we stay aware in the moment. It will go away. It will not come back. But the benefit is it takes many other old feeling tones with it. And you can literally clean up your energy field through this practice. And to clean up your energy field, I have to tell you, is a big deal. We have a lot of trapped and stored negative emotions in us. Every single one of us does. And why it's a big deal is if we can release them, more and more go. Your health improves. Your wealth improves. If you haven't heard it from me before, I'm saying it again now. Your money and abundance and wealth and prosperity is directly related to this. It's directly related. So is your relationships. Your relationships with people will improve. The relationship with yourself will improve. And your whole state of happiness, when I spoke earlier, when Shail said we are happy souls, your whole state of happiness will slowly over time become better and better. You'll become happier and happier over time as a person. And then as you find over time, as you practice this, you'll find that step one, this welcoming and staying as awareness, actually merge. And they almost become like one practice. So in the moment you welcome, you'll also find your awareness present. And that wonderful thing of the more you practice it, the more you release these old stored emotions has got enormous benefits for you. So that's the bonus that comes with that. So here's just 2 quotes. Rumi, what hurts you blesses you. I'll say this in another way. There's this great quote I wrote here by Khalil Gibran, which is, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. I love that. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So suffering is not caused by pain, but by resisting pain. I'll say that again. Suffering is not caused by pain. It's by resisting pain. Anything you welcome dissolves and disappears. And it seems so counterintuitive because we don't want negative emotion. And this is saying the very opposite. Welcome it and stay in awareness. And then this quote here, when we love our hate, we stop hating. Love always wins. To love hatred means to welcome it. It doesn't mean we should do what it tells us to do, but we shouldn't suppress it either. When we love hatred, we put ourselves out of the process of hatred and love begins. And that's actually the book title, The Perfume of Silence. So the more you practice this, it just becomes something that you get better at. And like anything, the better you become at this, the happier your life will become, the more peaceful you will feel inside. And even when it comes to worry is fear. And fear is something, I have to say, that we kind of learned as we grew up. And I don't know, depending on your life, how you've practiced to have fear is different for everybody. I've become a person who's very aware of fear as an emotion and to do everything I can to conquer fear, because in every personal development book, it'll tell you somehow, some way, that to conquer fear is to conquer failure. And fear strips us of a life of being alive and enjoyment and living fully. So fear is something that we should really eliminate. It can ruin a person's life, and compared to someone who does not have fear, you really do live a wonderful, adventurous, and full life, and we shouldn't have as much fear. So even fear you can use in the welcoming process. And as I say, the more you practice it, the better you become. All right, so that's the lesson. Let's just quickly sum it up. So the 2 ways to release negativity now. First thing is become aware of your negative emotions. Just be really aware of them, anything, hurt, worry, fear, whatever it may be. Then, who am I? Just remember that you're not your mind. Your mind is the thoughts that you have. If there are no thoughts, then there's no mind. But awareness is who you are. You are always awareness. And then just the question, are you aware? Ask yourself, am I aware? As long as you stay aware, then you're not the person. You're aware of yourself as the person. And then number 4, that awareness practice, which we've discussed. Number 1, ask yourself, am I aware? And just stay present and open that lens and keep asking, am I aware? If thought comes, just go back to the question, am I aware? Then notice awareness and then stay as awareness. So that's number 4. Notice it. Ask yourself the question, notice it, and then stay as awareness. And then number 5, the power of your feelings, just to remember that happiness is your natural state. So if you don't feel happy right now, just know it's only negative emotion that is standing in the way from you being happy. There's nothing else there. You are happy. You eternally happy. And if you don't feel that way, it's negative thoughts and negative emotions which you can release. And then number 6 is welcoming. Even you two are welcome here. Use your arms, embrace it like you love it, and actually say with love. And then the super practice is just those two, awareness and welcoming. And as you practice them more and more, they actually merge and become one. And then you'll just find that all negativity will release. And as I said, it takes with it all those stored emotions, even from long ago. So my friends, that's it. I hope that's been helpful for you. Any comments or feedback? Questions? Let's see what's in the chat box. I see I've got a couple of things here. That is good for our health. Very good logic. Thank you, Caroline. This practice close to the countdown deepening. Is this practice close to the countdown deepening exercise? Does that relate to just the awareness part, Caroline, or not the welcoming, just the awareness part? Yeah, absolutely. So Caroline's question comes from the Silver method, which one of the practices is you can just count down from whatever number, 25 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1. The longer you go, the better your mind control. And if you can go back from 100 to 1, you've got extraordinary mind control, because when you first start doing it, your mind wanders or you fall asleep or something happens. So that is a way to practice conscious awareness in a relaxed state. Practicing awareness is even taking it to another level, because you're giving your mind nothing to do. You're asking the mind, just you out of this now. I am aware. So I'm aware, and if the mind comes, it's like here in the side, the mind is making thoughts. You go, oh, I'm aware of my thoughts. Again, am I aware? And you just stay aware, widen the lens, and see if you can hold that peace. And then, of course, for negative emotion, that's the best to embrace it there. Create from outside in. Energy field will automatically create better things for us. Yes, thank you. Create from outside in. You mean create from inside out. When you say outside in, energy field will automatically create better things for us. So Donna, I'm not sure if I understood you. Create from outside in. So we are saying we're creating from the inside out. Not, if I say the outside in, maybe I've misunderstood you. Go ahead.
From my understanding is that anything, even ill health, it starts in the energy field first before it goes into the physical body. So what you're saying, if you're going to clean up the energy field, you're preventing the ill health from coming in, and you're creating, you're right. You're creating from the outside in. I got it back to front.
From the inside out?
No, you're creating from the outside, because the energy field is where the illness first presents itself before it reaches the physical body. It's in your field.
Yes. However, the energy field, besides being a field around us, every atom in your body, your tissues and organs, and every tissue and organ in your body is made out of tissues, molecules, and atoms. And in every atom are particles, energetic particles, spinning in space. So these particles are charged energies.
Yeah.
So even your entire physical body is an energy field in itself. It's an energy instead of vibration, is your whole body, and it even radiates around you. And your mind is the cause for feeling good or feeling bad, thinking positive, thinking negative. So if we can stop the thought with awareness, we also stop that energy field if it was negative before. And you're right, the energy field will manifest secondary in the body. But when I was just trying to clarify an outside, I want people to think it's like an outside condition, like, you know, my job has caused this or whatever. It's our thoughts about the job. It's not the weather that makes me miserable. It's my thoughts about the weather that making me miserable. So, yeah, we're actually on the same page, I think, saying what we're saying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Michelle says, thank you for going to try this. It's so simple in theory. So, Michelle, before I made this a Meaningful Monday, I've been practicing this for a long time, and it absolutely works. And especially when you're very, very angry or very, very triggered or very upset, The welcoming works like magic. And it just changes us as a person to stop resisting. And you can find that the more you practice it in every area of your life, the happier you become. That's, if you think of, we're trying to refer to monks in orange robes that always look so peaceful, no matter what's going on, that's the truth, because they don't resist anything. Jay asks, what if a person is an empath and they are feeling somebody else's emotion? Is this the same technique? Yes, you can practice the same technique. Absolutely. Because every time we feel, even if it's someone else's emotion that's negative, when we don't want to feel it, that is resistance. And when we do the opposite of welcoming, then there's no resistance. So even that, so I always use the words, and even this, and even, like, I can welcome this, I can welcome this, but this is too much. No. And even this is welcome here. And I wrap my arms and say, welcome here. So it's really right here in my heart. It's amongst everything that I love, it's welcome right here amongst everything that I love. And I embrace it with love. The thing that I'm trying to not want, I embrace it with love. It just dissolves. Thanks a lot. Makes me more aware of it all. Thank you, Irina. I like Jay's question. Yes, good question, Jay. Thank you. Okay. So just quickly, the upcoming events, and then we're going to do a quick meditation, guided meditation. So we've got the Silver Method. Because of the lockdown, September class is online. If anybody still wants to join, they can. If you're a Silver grad and want to review, you're welcome to. What better thing to do in lockdown than review the Silver Method? So that's Thursday it starts, and the next Silver class is in November, 4 to 7. And just to share, for people who want to share the Silver Method as an introductory lecture, the 4 key skills I'm doing at the end of October on the 26th. Okay, that's it from that, and let's meditate. So if you're new to this, or if you're new and not new, please grab yourself a pen and paper. We ask questions in the meditation, you write your answers down. If you are new, what we're going to do is a quick relaxation. You just have to relax and listen to the words, follow the instructions, and you'll be fine. We're going to do a relaxation from head to toe. Then we're going to imagine a beautiful waterfall of white light, just with our imagination, just clearing our energy field. Imagination is very powerful. And then we're going to imagine it becoming one waterfall of unconditional love, and just feel all that love. And then we're going to have a couple of, benefit statements, just about your health and well-being. And then whilst you're in that very relaxed state, I'm going to then ask you a couple of questions, and this is why you need a pen and paper. When I ask the questions, what is your intention? What do you want to focus on for the month ahead? Because we're now in the beginning of the month. Whatever comes up for you, your first impressions, you write them down. So we want no analysis, no thinking, no questioning, just first impressions, like intuition. Write down your first impressions. What do you want to focus on for the month ahead? Then I ask, what steps do you need to take to get you closer to what you want to achieve? And then I ask, what do you need to let go of? Whatever that may be. First impressions, write them down. Then I'll just have one more question. Is there anything else? And sometimes something comes up there. And you can practice this at any time on your own. You'll find that the answers that you get come from your intuition, from the happy soul part of you, should I say, what Shayil was calling earlier, and not so much from the mind. All right, so I'll put my camera off. And just find yourself comfortable. Try to move as little as possible when you're writing your answer, that you don't, disturb yourself or come out of your relaxed state. Is the sound okay? Caroline, I can see you, my sound engineer there. Thank you. So find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep belly breath in, right into the corners of your belly. And as you exhale through your mouth, allow the tensions in your body just to release and float away. Take another deep belly breath in, and as you exhale, feel your body relaxing. You're going to relax now from the top of your head all the way down. So let's start by relaxing the scalp. Feel the tension releasing and leaving your scalp. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes and the tissues around your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. And now just feel your whole face relax. Relax your neck. And take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back from your neck to the end of your spine. Relax. Take a nice deep breath into your chest, and as you exhale, feel your chest relax. And now take a nice deep belly breath into your abdomen. And as you inhale, as you exhale, relax your abdomen. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet. All the way down to your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go, and allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place this waterfall of white light wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. This light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel how this waterfall of white light is clearing away all the stress, the tension, and the clutter of not just today or the past week or the past month. It's not only clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the past year, but of your lifetime. It is clearing your entire energy field, your aura, your atmosphere. And as this white light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face and see how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now take a deep breath, relax, go deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all the pains you felt, the angry moments. Allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to focus with clarity. You are calm. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Just take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month ahead. It is now time to set your intention for the month ahead. I'm going to count from 10 to 1. When we reach the count of 1, you will have tuned in to your own inner wisdom, or what some may call your higher self. That part of you that when you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. You may call it your intuition. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned in to your inner wisdom, your higher self, that part of you that intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment. Feel the connection. And now, in this very relaxed state, ask yourself, what do I need to focus on for the month ahead? Whatever comes to mind, your first impressions, write them down. Don't analyze anything. What do I need to focus on for the month ahead? And then take a deep breath, close your eyes and re-enter the meditation. Next question. What steps do I need to take to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have. Whatever comes to mind, write it down. What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Take another deep breath and just close your eyes and relax. Next question. What do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. What do I need to let go of? And now for the last and final question. Is there anything else? Anything else I need to know or anything else I need to do? Is there anything else? And just allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Just bring your attention back to your body. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. At the count of 3, you'll open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, did you enjoy that? Did you get any answers? Got a nod here or there? Got a yes on the chat? Okay, great. Just a reminder, trust the answers that you get when you get them at this calm, relaxed level. It's called the alpha level. The alpha level is where your intuition is really active and working for you, serving you. So whatever answers you get in a deep, relaxed state are the ones you can trust. The most important thing is that you act on the answers that you got. Feels so good. Thank you, Vanessa. Welcome, Vanessa, and thank you. Couldn't greet you earlier. All right. Any questions or comments? You can unmute your mics and have a chat. I'm going to stop the recording, but I will stay here and answer anybody's questions. Let me know how I can help you or answer anything for you, or just wish you a very, very good night and a wonderful month ahead till next Meaningful Monday.